editorial in Avis. I normally don't touch the editorials in the papers, this they view. But I want to bring Hugh and Carol in this one. The editorial said, let the finger pointing begin. No, I ain't in that. But I do want to say that the revelation that Diageo engaged in some unethical and immoral conduct in other parts of the globe is not too good for this territory. As a matter of fact, it could appear that with that type of activity, it gives some credibility and credence to what Puerto Rico was saying before the Congress, how the cover over should now be adjusted or shifted or however you want. And that to us would be a problem. You don't have to go back to a vote on the Diageo deal. Some of us opposed it for reasons that is obvious. But Diageo have a plant here, and we have to now hope that the revelation of how Diageo has dealt elsewhere don't affect us with our cover over coming from the Congress of the United States. Because now I'm sure the Puerto Ricans believe they got trump card to move forward. And that is not too good. And I wanted to bring Hugh and Carol in that discussion because to me, it is unfortunate that we might be now facing an uphill battle in Congress to justify the relationship we went into with Diageo. And so that's unfortunate. Okay? And we have a caller. Woo-wee! Let's take the call. He hot. Good morning, caller.
Hello?
Yeah?
Good morning.
What is this? I thought it was you, you know.
How is everything?
Good. Listen, let me, on the radio, thank Hub Shambam. You have come to my rescue. Because he had no phones working when I came in here. And Hub come out of his bed or wherever he was, I ain't gonna say. But he come and fix it. Thank you, Hub Shambam. You know, we know he got some good Republicans.
Good, you're good. I have a question to ask you about the
Wait, let me get to Mr. Miller. You hang around. Pull up a chair, Hub. Because you deserve some type of involvement since you fixed the phone for me. Mr. Miller, go ahead.
Tell Hub fix the Republican situation.
Hub, remember I said fix the Republican with the debt with Obama. Call them up
last night.
No. Okay.
No, it's in the Democrats' hands now.
Okay. Listen.
Oh, in the Democrat hands.
Hey, listen. You know.
That's a Republican.
Yeah. Shoot to his bone, but you know something. He does shape up good because he does help a Democrat all the time when I call it.
Mr. Russell,
talk to me, Mr.
I just
Miller.
got 2 quick points
yes.
away from what you were just talking about, if you don't mind.
Sure. You know it.
On your website, Beyond Politics,
right?
You had in the article where you said, is it an article, a press release?
Right.
Where it says the unions cannot succeed in court challenge to the government workers' pay cut. And I think you referenced Section 3 and Section 20 as to, is that why they can't win?
No, I don't want to make a definitive statement. I think they have an uphill battle, right? Yeah. And it's not a definitive statement. It's more...
Your opinion?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, and let me say, I don't know if and let me say to you that clearly the uphill battle, I think, is buttressed by the fact that the TRO didn't even have a hearing, and the irreparable harm issue, they didn't meet that standard. Now, let's put it very clearly. Nobody could predict how the ruling might come down because the evidence is not there yet, okay? But there are some clauses that gives the governor opportunities to do things and the legislature that I think people should be aware of. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I hear you. But again, I am no legal man or anything. I just following what you're saying. But the thing is,
but you saw that on my webpage.
What? Oh, the press release.
Yeah.
Yeah, on your press release, I copied it.
Okay.
But my concern too is this consolidating. I know it's legal precedence to consolidate and everything, but as far as I thought, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, people who were experiencing or might experience the hardship who had to prove or testify that the 8% would be a hardship on them. How are they going to testify now that it's consolidated and moved to St. Thomas?
Well, the procedural matters of consolidation, right?
Mm-hmm.
In civil actions that have similar issues to determine is a normal procedure.
Right, we're there already, yeah.
Okay, and so that's not an unusual matter. And I think, as a matter of fact, I don't know, I'll tell you this and it don't matter, it's just a fact. I was reluctant to even offer affidavit or testimony unless the matters were consolidated.
And you also push for consolidation, right?
Well, I think consolidation was absolutely necessary.
No, but you yourself push for consolidation as the Senate President, right?
Well, I told the legal counsels for the legislature that we want consolidation. Absolutely.
Okay.
And because you see what it would expose us to, which I didn't want to get into, is a disjointed defense or a disjointed effort to address the focal point of the issue and not to get distracted with other issues. And all of the cases are not going to be, if they were not consolidated, have a focus. It could be all kind of different things coming up. And what you want to do in such an important issue is to have the focal point of the issue is the 8% a violation of the Revised Organic Act. That's the issue, okay? And so to consolidate the issues, I think gives focus, and it's an important issue. And from the legal point of view that we were going to defend, I sure instructed our legal counsel that we want the cases consolidated, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that you could understand that. The second point, as to St. Thomas or St. Croix, that is, to me, of really no moment. It doesn't matter which judge deals with it. They still got to deal with the law.
What about testifiers?
Or testifiers, in terms of having access to the court?
Well, ability to testify as to the hardship from the 8%.
You think that it creates
hardship for people to testify?
Well, usually when you have that, you take depositions, right?
Okay.
And you have technology where sometime you could do the conference where you have the person maybe who can't travel to St. Thomas, do it and get, the same type of information. You could do video depositions, or the unions could just pay for them to go to St. Thomas.
Wow.
And, and usually...
That's the part I didn't really like, because now you're putting the owners and either the union to pay or of course, like you said, you got the option of technology.
Yeah, you could do it. So the court in doing it understands the dynamic of the technology, and the court ain't doing it to make a hardship on anybody. What the court probably intended to do, you got to have a judge who might have the time. Also, you have to have the calendar clear. Criminal matters take precedent over some of these civil matters. And you have to have a dynamic that makes it responsible for the court to act in a timely fashion. So the court will look at judicial efficiency in terms of these type of things. How best to save resources but to come to a very fair decision. And in this situation, if there's any hardship, the unions will file a motion, the court will make a ruling and work things out where, you know, maybe the deposition, maybe the testimony could be live in the court in St. Croix, while, you know, a lot of different things could accommodate people testifying, okay?
And just talking past it, so
sure, yeah.
To come on,
yeah.
In your article, in the information in the article, it says since the late 1980s, unions have been steadily losing ground.
I didn't draft that press release.
Oh, okay, you didn't draft that.
No, I'll tell you that press release, and I was wondering, no, that if somebody put that on my webpage, that didn't come from me.
Okay, what is
okay?
It?
So that and we accept things on our webpage.
It's posted by Ronald E. Russell, you know.
I know.
Yeah, but okay. Well, anyway.
But let me say, and let me find where that is, because I won't write an article about a case.
Politics.
Okay.
Beyond Politics website.
Okay, and it might have been posted. It might be something that we put on the webpage to inform people, but I didn't draft it as a press release from me. Okay.
My last point.
Yeah.
Bill number 26-0255.
Okay.
Dealing with, I think it's contract law?
Yeah.
Contract bill or something like that.
Yeah.
How does that affect this current 8% situation thing? And I'm going to hang up and listen.
Okay, I don't have that bill before me.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Okay.
I think it basically it says that, you know, people can violate contract, etc., etc. But when you get a chance, if you could discuss that for me. If you get
the violation of contract, you know that there's a prohibition as to passing laws that would violate contracts, and that's how the union sued, right? Right. But there are exceptions to almost every law or provision.
It says the bill prevents entities, corporations, or persons of superior bargaining, negotiating, or economic power from forcing the underprivileged and less fortunate to sign agreements giving up rights that are guaranteed by the Constitution, more or less.
Right. And I passed a bill like that, okay? Because the practice in Hovenza was to force people to sign contracts that had a mandatory arbitration clause in it.
Okay.
And mandatory arbitration to me is signing away a right that you should have to go to a jury, number one. And if you have a personal injury, why would you go to an arbitrator who just know how to deal with contracts? So, you know, I was against violating, and I proposed that bill. And to me, it was necessary to protect the rights of individuals. Now, remember though, that as with everything, like for example, the contracts that the CBA, the unions have, right? There's always exceptions to whether or not a law could be passed, whether or not the executive have the right to do certain things under certain circumstances. And I think that in this case, the exception has a lot of the validity in terms of really money, the wherewithal of the territory to pay its debts and to have a balanced budget, and most importantly, the distinction between a termination, a dismissal, and a pay cut as to how the public interest is solved. And I think the court is going to answer all of those issues. And let me say this, the unions have a chance to put forth any argument on their behalf, okay?
And thanks for the time. I'm looking forward to seeing how the court can decide and that. And tell the court don't be too blind.
Yes.
I think they got a thing around the eye, right?
No, man. Courts, you know, I'm going to talk about that.
To be fair and
yeah, I'm going to talk about that, okay?
The right way. Thanks for the time.
Yeah.
Two quick things, Senator Russell.